Don't sell these CS2 skins, or at least not yet. Let me explain. Now, what's going on, guys? My name is Fano, and today we're going to be taking a look at some CS2 skins that I personally would never sell, and I still own many of these skins today. And when I say never, that's obviously a bit cheek in tongue, because obviously, you know, if the narrative and the fundamentals change, you should want to cash out and salvage as much money as you can from these investments. But what am I talking about? I'm obviously talking about skins that have high liquidity, high demand, and have historically performed very, very well over the past several years. Many of these skins are rare, they're old, they're discontinued, and you can no longer obtain them through normal means. You'd have to get them through trade-ups, or perhaps trade with other members of the community to get them. So let's talk about a few of them in this video. So the first one I have is a fire serpent. I know what you guys are gonna say. It's an ugly skin, nobody wants it, it looks absolutely horrendous, I'd rather use an AK blue lamb. Nobody ever said that. But the reason I say Fire Serpent is because it's from the Bravo case, which was the first CSGO case to have a covert AK-47 in it. It was the first operation case during an Operation Bravo, and quite frankly, it's one of the most expensive cases and collections that are from cases. So why not invest in the top dog, the top tier item in that collection? And obviously, people do trade-ups for it year-round, and they try to get their hands on this amazing AK-47 skin, albeit the artwork is very suboptimal compared to today's standards, at least. Another reason why I like the Fire Serpent is because historically, skins that have notoriety and just a huge name and following behind them, they tend to be very elastic, especially during bull runs. They tend to go up a lot, and they tend to go down a lot as well during the lows of the bull market, or towards the end of the bull market, bear market, if you will, right? So we just had a bull market in skins last year when CS2 was coming out, and now this year skin prices have gone significantly down. And I predict that if the next couple of weeks and months have good updates, content updates, new players, new operation, lots of life and zest and joy added to this game, skins like these that are well off their highs and have high demand already should see some very good returns, and potentially even break their last time all-time highs, which would be pretty good. You gotta think of these types of skins. So for example, a Glock 18 Fade. Everybody's heard of this skin who's played CSGO, or maybe if you haven't played CSGO, you've still seen it somewhere on the internet or on Reddit or somewhere. And yeah, it has 3 colors. It's very fruity. It has yellow, pink, and purple on it. And that's pretty much it. I may be a bit biased because I own one, and I do gotta say it looks really good in the CS2, but even if it didn't look good, it's still one of those like limited time items that was only available for about a year and a half or so back in 2013-14 when nobody really played this game, at least not for the skins. Nobody thought this skin would ever go up in price to a 10x, as they say on Reddit. But yeah, I remember when this skin used to cost $10, and I'm really kicking myself for not investing back then. But now off the highs, if you've always wanted a Glock Fade, it may not be a bad idea to snag one up. Another set of skins that I really like are the vanilla knives, in particular the ones from the Horizon and Danger Zone collections. So for example, Talon knives are one of my favorite vanilla knives right now. It's not quite a karambit, but it is karambit-like, and it looks really good too for a very attractive price relative to its parent or cousin or whatever you want to call it, right? Karambits are very expensive these days, so why not go with something like a Talon knife? Or if you don't have the money, go for an Ursus knife or a stiletto knife. Go for vanilla knives. You could obviously go with Dopplers and other higher tier, finishes, but I think vanilla is the way to go. You obviously cannot forget Doppler knives, and who doesn't remember the Phase 2 fiasco that we had a couple of months ago, where basically Valve decided to obliterate the P2 market and change the way that some of these knives look, especially in the Phase 2 flavor. And a lot of people panicked, a lot of people were upset with this update, and they started selling their knives. If you managed to get a Phase 2 Doppler knife for a discount, congratulations, that was the right move, and I applaud you for buying when there was blood in the street, when prices were crashing. That is generally good investing etiquette, especially for something whose fundamentals appear to have changed, but in reality, it's still up in the air whether or not it was going to be set in stone, and taking a chance and a risk like that ultimately paid off pretty nicely for you. All this to say, I don't foresee Dopplers getting displaced anytime soon in the pecking order. Most people really like Dopplers. They love sapphires, rubies, emeralds, black pearls, so if you can get your hands on any one of those finishes on any particular knife, that would be a win in my books. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, guys. Just go on any of the top CS2 inventories in the world and look at their showcases. What kind of items do you see there? Do you see dragon lures? Do you see howls? Do you see wild lotuses, discontinued operation skins, op medusas? You see a desert eagle blaze, or maybe a USPS Orion that's only available through trade-ups. What kind of knives do these guys have? Look at that. They have a bunch of rubies. They have a bunch of sapphires, Dopplers. They have case-hardened knives. So take a look at those types of investments, and if they're off their highs, which most of them inevitably are, then why not just go for it and take a chance? If you think this game is going to continue growing over the next couple of years, then yeah, buying off of the highs is what you should be doing. You should not be waiting for us to hit a new all-time high for you to finally pull the trigger and buy a Fire Serpent or a Glock 18 Fade or any of the skins mentioned in this video when they're at their new all-time highs. That is just beyond idiocy and will cause you to lose a lot of money. I personally would not waste my time with stat track weapons unless it's like some super high tier Howl or a Fire Serpent, and even then it probably doesn't make sense. I would just stick with normal skins, higher liquidity skins, and just items that are just operation in general. They don't have to be the creme de la creme, like the most expensive, desirable items in the game, but I do think that if you hold on to quality skins from quality collections, even if the skins themselves are cheap or lower in value, they could still be used for trade-ups and, you know, trade-up fodder, so may as well invest in them. Perfect example of this would be an MP9 Dark Age, or, you know, a skin from the Norse collection that's a little bit less desirable, maybe like a Pathfinder. Another type of skin that I would recommend investing are Operation Filler skins. If you believe that we're going to see an operation later this year, then looking at skins that are heavily used in trade-ups from very nominal and just menial collections that are droppable collections, I should say, that is the way to go. So think of like Acid Fades. Think of skins like the P2K Amber Fade. Those types of skins will get used up by trade-up enthusiasts when we finally get a new collection, new collections, I should say, from operations. People are going to be trying to get the higher tier items, so why not invest in quality, rare to drop items that are still dropping, but, you know, it doesn't matter too much because the chance of you getting them in a drop is super low, and we are so close to an operation, which I will talk about in future videos. So if you're interested in any of that and more skin content, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button to show your support. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, this is Fano, signing out.